love how the restaurants here, you can like look at people walking by and just kind of enjoy your dinner and see the world go by. So it's really nice. My husband's trying to teach me how to say ostrich in Dutch. And I thought it was Struisvogel. But how do you say it?
Ostrich. It's a Struisvogel.
Struisvogel. Struisvogel. Vogel. Okay, we just got dinner and we're gonna go to the
Van Gogh Museum.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Oh, Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. So if you guys don't know, Van Gogh had a mental illness, and you can totally see in a lot of his work, specifically of nature, that it was like healing for him. He found solace in his art through nature. So yeah, it was a beautiful exhibit. They didn't have Starry Night though. I was like, y'all don't have Starry Night? This is the Van Gogh Museum. Y'all don't have Starry Night. But yeah, I think my favorite exhibit was the Olive Garden. Hey guys, I haven't talked to you in a while. I'm just gonna run some errands today. Everyone back home keeps messaging me and telling me I look whiter and whiter with each video, so thank you for that. Yesterday, I swear, was sunny out. It's just every time I film, it's not, so maybe you guys don't believe me, but yesterday I actually had to wear sunglasses. And one thing that I have noticed that is something that I do need to get used to is I feel like Dutch people really like living their life in such a structured way, and they really like their Afspraken, their appointments. And that's something that I have needed to adjust to, because in California, like, it's very normal to, for example, hit up a friend that day and just say, hey, do you want to get lunch today or tomorrow? And there's a little bit more room to kind of live your life in a more spontaneous way, I guess. But here it's very organized, your life, and you will book things like 2 weeks in advance sometimes. With the Afspraken, the appointments, I mean, you can like live your life without them, but it's just not as easy. I mean, if, for example, if you have a haircut or a nail appointment back home, you can just walk in actually, but all those places you pretty much should have an appointment. But also, like, I kind of just do miss a little bit, like waking up and like seeing where the day takes you, you know, like, so yeah, that's something that I need to get into the pace of that and the Dutch way of living. So, and I will. One of my husband's friends, I was trying to schedule something with her to get coffee, and she had suggested like 2 weeks in advance, and I was like, what? So yeah, that's definitely been an adjustment. And also, like, everyone is very much on time for everything here, very sharp. And it's funny because where I'm from, like, it's so normal to be late. Like, people might actually make fun of you if you're completely on time. Like, if you say noon, like, that really means like 12:20, 12:30 to show up. So, but yeah, no, that doesn't fly here. So I'm adjusting and I will get there. I think it just makes, the only reason that it's a little bit of a struggle for me is because I told you guys about my thyroid issue, and some days I don't have as much energy as other days. So that makes it a little bit difficult to kind of book something weeks later, and I don't know if I'm gonna wake up in the morning and have the energy for it. So, and by the way, I had my first house art experience regarding my thyroid. Just to give you guys like a little bit of backstory. So I was diagnosed with this, it's called Hashimoto's disease. Your thyroid pretty much affects everything, like your metabolism, your appetite, your weight, your mood. So all my life, like I was having all of these issues that I would go to the doctor for. I had at one point really, really severe acne. I had anxiety, different things I would go for, and they never thought to screen me for any kind of thyroid disease. So, and I was always exhausted. Like I was always a napper, and that was like, my friends would always like, it was like a joke, like Ellen needs to go take her nap. So that was kind of how I lived my whole life. And I didn't know until 2 years ago when I got pregnant, my OBGYN discovered this, and she called me and was like, Ellen, your lab work is like so critically high. How come you've never been diagnosed with this? So I will need to be on medication for the rest of my life. But for the most part, it's pretty manageable. But sometimes I do get like flare-ups, and I will need my medication adjusted and stuff like that. So, all these ducks are so cute. Look. The Vogels. So I went and saw the house art, and a house art is the doctors. That's what they call the doctors here. And by the way, they don't have like pediatricians in the way that in America your kid has to have a pediatrician. The house art is the family doctor. So I went, and it was probably the most chill experience. Like that's how I would describe it. It was just chill, casual. And so you go in, and it's in like an apartment, which is just kind of, funny, but like it was very cozy. It was very gezellig, and there was like books and toys, and it was just like an apartment. So it's just funny because back home, like when you go to the doctor, it's like a very formal, someone will come in and say, the doctor will see you in a few minutes, like please be ready. And then the doctor comes in like this lab coat. Like it was none of that. Like the house art was dressed in just normal professional clothes. She was literally drinking an espresso when I walked in, like at her desk, like no mask, by the way, like just so chill. And I did not feel rushed at all, which is new, because back home when you go to a doctor, like a few minutes, you probably have like 10 minutes max with them. And you have all your questions prepared, and just a few minutes into the conversation, they're already like looking at their watch, like, because there's so much pressure on them to see as many patients as they can. So, but this was a completely different experience. Like she felt like, I felt like I could just talk to her. There was no like sense of, I don't know, like it was just talking to a normal person, I guess is what I want to say. Like, back home, there's like with the doctors, it's very like you have to address them as Dr. So-and-so. Even like as a nurse, there was some surgeons that I worked with for years, and I could never like call them by their first name, or like there was always that sense of kind of like they are a doctor. But the house art, she was so nice and so cool. Like, so I can't say that the approach that she had was any different. She didn't prescribe anything new, or there was no different plan of care than what an American doctor was doing for me back home. I was kind of like expecting, oh, maybe it'll be like more holistic or something, but no, there was none of that. It was kind of pretty much the same. Other than that, we're doing just fine. All of our like stuff is still being shipped from the US. It's stuck in a port in Los Angeles. All of these, you know, COVID, these delays, which I don't care about my stuff, but a lot of my son's like toys and some of his other, you know, clothes, like our cheese grater and just random things like that. We're like, gosh, I wish our shipment would come in, but I don't know when that's gonna arrive, but that's okay. Like I said, you really do not need all this stuff at the end of the day. Okay, these mosquitoes are getting to me, so I'm gonna go, and I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna go get some lumpia.